dealt with the quote stage right through and the delivery stage, so I've got a feel for a lot of those. And what I like the most about that is I get a job, create the job as a quote the job. It's all in that file, all in that system, slowly building up that data and information. I've now accepted the quote, load that in there. It's now TMP, TMP's half filled out, half my work's done for me, and it's just like, when you're trying to run an office on your own, especially on your own, the speed to do things and having everything linked together, I just found very great, and job's finished. Oh, job's revived. We're doing it again. Bring the job back out, and just linking that all together. And then from a QA and audit process, where's all your information? It's right here. It's all linked together. I haven't got a box in the corner with 450,000 on-site records. It's like, you want the on-site records for that job on that day? Here they are. Here's the TMP. Here's the STMS. Don't need to dive through a box of wet, soggy paperwork to try and find what I need.
Which might not even be there.
Yeah, because I forgot to file it. Yeah, that's exactly right. I've just found it so simple. Emergency jobs, creating an emergency job on the fly. Giving the staff the ability to deal with an emergency, logged basic information, just do the tracking to create for the start of my invoicing. Log STMS, logging their hours, tracking the gear, and always knowing where the gear is. For me, it was just one seamless piece of software that took the job from conception to delivery to invoice to completion to record keeping to reviving it and doing the same job again, or a variation of it, or got to go back for a rework because something's failed for the contractor or whatever. Just going through that and just keeping it all tied together, and also the ability to change my invoices. It's like, no, I can't charge them that much for a great client. I'm going to change this on the fly just before it goes out, or track all my hire gear. I just
you said
you said I wanted to stop, and you did right. I just can't speak highly enough for it. It just
day to day, what were you finding was working? What gains or what wins were you getting out of it day to day?
Well, I think the easiest part for me, or the biggest gain for me, is it gave me the flexibility to do to actually get a very quick snapshot of what's actually happening on a day-to-day basis, what resources I still had available, and it also gave me the flexibility to, someone would ring me up while I'm out in the field or at a meeting or away from the office, ring up and say, hey, I've got this job, it's an urgent job, I've got the TMP, can we actually, what can we do, or even task jobs, start the job creation, the whole cycle, remotely just from my phone, just to create those memories for me. Probably the biggest key thing that I found really, really helpful is we know that team staff are very forgetful. They will leave the yard every single day and they will leave something behind. More often than not, it'll be a traffic management plan. They don't need the document. They were out there last week. They know what they're doing, but they'll forget it. Yep. So the easiest thing for me, or if a change comes through, you just throw it on the job, get them to refresh their tablet or their phone, and then they've got that document on site. Something happens, they get a date extension for a job that's happening. I was in Nelson, the job was in Takaka. I could throw the job and the STMS has it in the field instantly. The whole flow process I found so awesome, or so easy to figure out. I think to be 100% honest, I think if I hadn't have found Road Direct, hadn't have found this bit of software to help me run that business, on my own, I think I probably would have given up 12 months earlier.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I would have given up because I just couldn't do it anymore. I was burnt out, and this just took all that away from me. So
there's so much mental energy in keeping a lot of that stuff in your head, and you can do it up to a point, and sometimes people see the system and they're like, well, I'm doing my job. I'm all right. I'm on top of things, and I don't need a sort of system to help me out and that kind of thing. And well, that might be true, but you might find things easier, and if things get more busy and more stressful, it might not be the tipping point, like you say.
Like you speak out that memory and that processing time to, yes, I've got it on, I've got my 15 post-it notes or 20 post-it notes on my screens, on the walls, but on the whiteboard, on the desk and stuff like that. But if you can open up your phone, which you always have with you, or your laptop, your computer, if you're sitting in front of that, and you've actually, what you would take you 15 minutes to sort all your post-it notes out, you can look at the board and go, oh, that was easy. Do it in 5 minutes and enjoy another cup of coffee.
Takes care of the basics is something that we at Road Direct often overlook. That is almost the biggest advantage, is just that basic stuff of record keeping, centralizing the information, accessibility to the information, you can update something, it's updated in the field.
Before I had Road Direct, before we started using that for our hire gear, we were running a spreadsheet. We would have to update the spreadsheet daily, update when the gear come in, come out. It all had to be done on a form that had to go to the office. With this, is the staff had it on their tablets. So if someone hired gear or returned gear, they could just go in and do it themselves. They could do it, or I could do it myself. Just do it, and it's done in there on the system. And then you go, hang on, did I invoice them for that day? Did I miss a day? Have I called all the days? But this is called it. All you got to do is out, in.
Yep.
And that was, to me, that was a basic piece that took out so much work. And the same thing for tracking the gear that's in the field. Make sure the staff, remind the staff, if you track that gear, so that way you can go, man, why I've only got one roadwork sign out of 300 that should be in the shed. Quickly jump on Road Direct and you go, oh, you got gear here, 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 here. It's all displayed on the map. It's just, and you know exactly where it is and what job's it's associated to. And it's just, yeah, it just took all the guesswork for me out of it. There is one other thing I need to say. What I actually found was really helpful and really good was actually working with you. If you had an idea or even an issue, you guys were just on the end of the phone, on the end of the email, and you would say, well, you want to get some matchsticks and open your eyes a bit more, because if you do that, it'll actually do that for you. Or, hey, that's a good idea. We'll implement that, or we'll build that, or we'll keep a note of that and stuff like that. So I think that was a real key thing. The support, after-sales support, and the customer service is, I found to be absolutely phenomenal, top-notch. To me, that said that, yes, okay, you haven't just made the sale. You're not just getting a monthly subscription. You actually go, you actually hear what you go, and what do you actually need? Oh, that's actually really relevant. Someone else has said something very similar. Had you thought about this? And then just tying that all in and actually trying to find something that meets the needs of everybody. Yeah, it's good. And if I was to go back contracting again, the first phone call I'd be making would be to you to say, sign me up. Let's go. So, absolutely.